Why would you hire a professional in today's world when you can potentially sell your property by yourself by putting it on the market? As every intelligent consumer knows that it is a digital world, you can put your property on the market, put your phone number on it, pick a price that Zillow tells you, and just go ahead and take a few phone pictures and go ahead and do that. You really can. It's time consuming. You have to take calls. You have to make sure you don't miss any calls. You have to make sure you're always available to show for the times that are working for your potential buyer, or you might have agents knock on your door who have clients, so you'll end up paying them a couple of points because they won't work without that or won't present an offer. So you have to navigate all of that, understand all of that, and you can do that. It's not an impossible task like most things are. You can even tile your own floor, and you can also fix your roof if you learned a little bit about that. It just they all have learning curves, right? Different things have bigger learning curves. Some things have smaller learning curves. So when you're hiring somebody, what are you looking at? You're looking at their learning curve. Are they new? Have they been in business for 4 or 5 years, but actually only sold 4 properties themselves? I don't mean their team. I don't mean their office. Themselves. These are the things that people don't get into and end up asking questions like, how much can you get for my house? And the new agent will give an inflated price because they want the business, understandably. And that inflated price is not an accurate price because they don't have the experience to price it, or they're too afraid to get into the conversation and kind of give you the bad news that I have to come and see your house to actually price it well. And I might see a few things that you might have to work on to get more for your home. These are the realistic conversations that you want to be having with anyone you're hiring to do the job of pricing your property, negotiating a contract for you, advising you how to stage it if needed, advising you on when to show it if needed. Is this a house that supports open houses better? Or if that's not something you can do, then how do we schedule the showings? Because you don't want people calling on a property that can't be shown or is hard to access, because that buyer is not going to call the second time, unfortunately. So what would I say to someone who's looking to hire a real estate agent? I would say experience, which is learning curve. How much experience do they have? How much shorter is their learning curve on your property? I will tell you, out of 5 houses I sell, 3 of them have a new problem. Completely new. Haven't seen that situation before. And if an agent tells you that's not true, they're lying. There's always something, a nuance. They're like, oh, didn't come up with this, didn't see this one. There is a tree that's growing between this house and the next door house, and that's grown a lot taller from the 25 years ago. For example, I just had to deal with that. There's an easement of a tree. Whose tree is it? How do we get some documentation on that? In some parts, that's not relevant. In some parts, that's relevant. Who's going to cut that tree? Whose expense is it, right? How do we mediate that? Landlord-tenant stuff. That's new every single time. Some tenants are living in single rooms of some houses that are about to go on the market. How do you get them out? Will the new buyer take those tenants? And how do we mediate that? How do we go to the tenants and write agreements? And so why am I telling you all of this? Is because these are subtleties that show up. And if your agent has a big learning curve with new things, big meaning there's their first time, they don't know when to go to an attorney, when to go to a title company, when to actually go and mediate something between 2 parties, i.e. landlord-tenant, i.e. estate sale, siblings, 2 siblings not getting along with each other, and have had some degree of experience in that, or a lot of experience, you're dealing with someone who's going to have the same problems you would on your own selling your house. Thank you for listening.